Welcome back to the Sugar Skull Challenge. Today we're going to do another two-color shading, but this one's going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to introduce you to what I consider my secret weapon for shading, because when you have no artistic skills, sometimes you need a little bit of help. So today we're going to use I'm using a violet, purple, and a orchid, again, Crayola $10 pencils. And we're going to do the skull or the star in the center of the sugar skull. And part of what I love about doing coloring pages instead of a coloring book is that a coloring page allows you to turn and move as necessary, when a coloring book really, because of the design of the book, becomes very cumbersome. You can't always reach into the area you want to reach in, and unfortunately, I find, at least for me, is that if I'm working on a picture and I'm really unhappy with what I've done, if I don't like the colors, if I think my technique sucks, whatever, I don't want to work in that book anymore, and it's a total waste of money. I've thrown out tons of coloring books. Sometimes I rip out the pages, but that's why I love coloring pages that I print off the computer, and that's why I built iSuck Coloring entirely around that concept. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll turn our paper. Super convenient. Nice sharp edge to your pencil, and you're going to start quite dark down at the bottom. Little tiny circles as you move out, and lighter as you go, to about halfway up the shape. I think it's kind of a leaf. Getting lighter as we go. Next, brighter purple. Again, nice and sharp edge so that you can get a nice thick dark color. Again, we've got those nice dark lines that save us from our little mistakes. And now, again, circles to color in this area. Why do we use circles? It saves you from seeing your pencil crayon marks. So if you're using just a straight diagonal stroke, you will find that the paper picks that up. And you're going to use those nice circles throughout and about halfway down the original purple. And keep coloring until most of that nasty white space is gone. The one thing you will find is that with standard printer paper, you can't get quite the depth of color that you can on a thicker quality paper. I will actually print one of the sugar skulls off on I think it's an 60 or an 80 pound paper stock, so that you can see what the difference is. It's not a bad idea to run to Staples and have a pack of that sitting by when you're ready to kind of do your final masterpiece. So now we're going to go back to the dark pencil. And starting at the bottom again, we're just going to intensify the color. Now, I think that that line is very harsh in between the two colors. It looks like you colored one and then the other, and they've hit like two freight trains on a track. I don't like that look. So my secret weapon for that is a colorless pencil. So this one is by Prismacolor. I think I paid $1.99 at Michael's for it. Well worth investing in this little secret weapon here, because what you do is you just color over top. Little circles, any area where you think the color doesn't quite look right. See how it took out that harsh line? Really blends it nicely together. When you go from color to color, so for instance, if you found that you had a really harsh line on your green and yellow leaves over here, and you wanted to blend those, the only thing is you do want to make sure that you clean off the end of the colorless pencil, because you will transfer colors. I'm sure there's an artist out there crying right now. I'm sure there's a better way of cleaning colorless pencils. I just use my finger now. So moving on, one more. Nice and dark at the bottom. Little tiny circles as we move up. Going back to our bright purple. And I'm using purples. You can use whatever colors you would like. And actually in our next video, I'm going to give you some suggestions on where the best place to find color patterns is, because there's absolutely nothing worse than hating the colors that you just put together. That's been my reason to start over on many, many, many pictures. In fact, I'm looking at one where I did that earlier today. So it's that overachieving type A personality that really can make something simple like coloring actually stressful instead of stress relieving. And I know for myself, I own 3 different companies. I do a lot of work in the marketing field. I do a lot of creative work on a daily basis, even though I'm not an artist, and it is absolutely draining. And by the end of the day, I just want something where I can focus and kind of let my mind wander, so that when I go to bed, I'm not overwhelmed with all of the thoughts of what I need to do the next day. And originally when I sat down to color, I found that it made all of that worse, because I'd look at what I had done and I'd feel inadequate about the colors I'd chosen or the technique I was using, and it looked like a 3rd grader had colored this, and that's probably being generous. And once I was able to learn just a couple of techniques and become much more comfortable in it, you gain a lot of confidence in everything else that you're doing in your day. Again, I don't like how that is 2 nice hard lines of color. So behold the power of the magic pencil. And again, better the printer paper that you're using, the more effect you'll gain. There you have it.